as we've got some 5A West baseball for you here today. The Greenwood Bulldogs and the Greenbrier Panthers, the season finale and conference play, the doubleheader here. And there are huge implications on this week's baseball games. Some have been moved around due to weather. But today's game will set the tone for what looks like is going to be a nuts, crazy week in the 5A West. Just unbelievable Wild West scenarios. Literally, Greenwood can be the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, or not even make the postseason. It's just an amazing sequence of events going to take place. And really, Greenwood sets the table here. Really, the only game that matters going on today, Alma and Mountain Home play. That game's been moved to Wednesday, possibly Thursday. Russellville Van Buren game's been moved to tomorrow. So everybody's got their eyes on today's game. And it should be very interesting to see how this thing pans out as we go looking for postseason play. As we wait here for a moment of silence here at the stadium, we'll pause a second for the Pledge of Allegiance. And now we'll pause for our national anthem. We'll stay right here. But yeah, we've looked at every scenario possible. It's literally anybody's ball game this week with 5 teams still alive. Russellville leads the conference right now at 10-2. So they're in regardless of what happens this week. The worst they can be is 10-4, and that gets them really in the driver's seat. Greenwood has shot themselves in the foot. They sit now at 8-4. The sweep at the hands of Mountain Home a couple of weeks ago, and then the split against Alma. Just get one of those games in each, or get one game at Mountain Home, and really you should have won that game against Alma, to be quite honest with you. That puts us at 10-2 and really in a driver's seat as well. But obviously, a million things can happen. You just, at worst, have to have a split here, at the very worst, and then you can feel a little bit more comfortable about getting in. I think there's still a scenario where we don't get in even if we split today. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these games pan out, and then we'll get to watch tomorrow and kind of see what our postseason lives look like. I'm Tim Terry. Glad to have you aboard here on the Sports Hog 103.5. If you're watching online, welcome to the YouTube Greenwood Sports Center live stream. And Keith Holt with me as always. Keith.
Hey, glad to be here.
Pretty decent weekend for you.
It was fun. It was a fun weekend. Still go. It's always the next one, though. Once you get through that one, it's the next game, next win, next victory. Right now, the only series that matters is the doubleheader between Greenbrier and Greenwood.
Well, and right on cue, we get to see your son step up to the plate to lead off here. Ty Holt, the freshman catcher, will see the first one, and it is upstairs, ball one, a fastball from Carson Zachary up on the bump for Greenbrier. Then their home whites with it's kind of a script G over their left breast. That one's low to Holt, a righty-righty matchup, and it's 2-0 now to the Greenwood catcher, Ty Holt. Zachary kicks and fires, and that's in there for a called strike. Holt, Skaggs, Carnes here in the top of the first. Artificial surface all the way around here at Greenbrier baseball field. Off-speed pitch is fouled towards the Greenwood dugout, third base side. 2-2 now to Holt. Don't have their stat sheet on me, and didn't want to bother Coach Brewer. He's got ball games to win, but Ty's been one of the better batting averages of the year, and that's a nasty changeup there, Keith. We talked about it and got him swinging one down.
Yeah, and he's got to be with these guys. That's the book on this pitcher is he's got a very good changeup. You've got to look opposite field, and then that way if you're early on the changeup, you can pull it. Holt was on line with the ball. He was just way early. Here's
Skaggs now. Greenwood's a left fielder, and he looks at a first pitch called strike. We're set up off to the left at the Greenwood on-deck circle, so we won't get to complain much about ins and outs. We can sure complain about high and low on the strike zone over here.
Exactly.
Skaggs fouls one into the Greenwood dugout, third base side. Strike two. Skaggs, a senior. This one's in the air to the left. Reed, their left fielder's drawn a bead and makes the catch for out number two.
Anything the left's going to get held up in that air. The wind just kind of it changes direction anywhere from straight out to right to kind of in towards home. So that's the general direction is towards the home dugout on the first base side.
4:30 was first pitch. 82 degrees and really mostly sunny. There's a few little bitty puffy clouds cruising through. The wind was out of the south-southeast at 6 miles an hour. As Carnes' first pitch swinging, it's a swinging bunt. The ball is thrown. It hits off Carnes' back, and he will be on base safely. With an infield single. We're not going to be an E on the pitcher. Hit him in the back. That's a tough.
Since we're the home crowd, we're going to give it an infield single. I'm sure if you're...
We'll see what they scored on there. If they give him an error, we'll give him an error, huh? A good throw, and that's probably an out, but he just beans Carnes in the back. I wouldn't blame him. I'd throw it at him, too.
That's what speed does is it makes you rush,
Yep.
and the pitcher didn't square up, and he didn't rush. And they still haven't given it anything yet. They're still mowing it over.
Here's Pettigrew now ducked under the first one. He's up ahead 1 ball on the count. That one's in the dirt, fake dirt. 2-0 now to Pettigrew. Carnes at first base. Jackson Cole out on deck if Pettigrew can extend the at-bat here in the top of the first. Outside 3-0 now to Pettigrew. Righty's got some velocity.
The book is he's 86, around 86, give or take a couple. He's missing low and missing glove side, and I don't know if that's what he normally does. But again, his changeup, I would be shocked here 3-1 to see his changeup.
He was taken all the way, Pettigrew was, and looked at strike one. Here comes, and he tried to check his swing, and I think that might have been a strike. Anyway, it's full count now. Carnes at first, still having a flashed hit or error up on the board, so.
Indecisive.
I would say it should be an error, to be quite honest with you. Fouled into the screen from Pettigrew. Get one more shot at it. Carnes was on the move, obviously, on the payoff pitch. 3:20 down the lines here at Panther Field. 3:55 in the power alleys. 3:80 to dead center. All artificial surface. And swinging a miss. He got Pettigrew's, struck him out. And the Bulldogs left a man on base. We're going to say there's one error and no runs. Top of the inning. Bulldogs hit the field here as the Panthers will come to bat. And it will be Mr. Mason Moore on the bump for the Bulldogs here in game number 1 of this doubleheader. We'll take a quick break. It's Greenwood Baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. 1 minute. They may not flash what that was. It's actually hot. We welcome you back to Panther Field here in Greenbrier. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, Greenwood baseball. Mason Moore up on top for the Bulldogs starting here. And you say, where's Grant Carnes?
Yeah, Grant Carnes they're just doing precaution on his arms and just making sure that there's nothing hurt bad. And, I think they'll use him if they need to. But as we see him throw a first pitch for a ground ball to Petty as he's going to go touch first base for first out. The key is going to be no free rides, no errors or walks. And then whichever team plays the best defense. And that's it. We've already seen Greenbrier with one error. Nothing happened with it, but what's going to happen is let you get further down the lineup and get back to the top a little bit earlier. So Greenwood's got to do the same thing. Play clean baseball, and you're going to get a win.
That was Andy James leading off for them, their shortstop. And he's swinging at first pitch and a high chopper over to Petty. No problem, out one. Here's Ty Ruby, their first baseman, and it's outside and away from Mason Moore. 1 ball. That's in there for a called strike. 1-1. Paxton Flagg is their catcher. He's up on deck. Moore, the junior, some off-speed nastiness. Just missed with that one outside. 2-1.
We've always talked with Moore. He's got to get dialed in. He's got so many pitches and so much run that he's got to get comfortable with the mound, the conditions, and we see another ball come in high.
3-1 now.
We can't wait too long to dial it in. We got to go.
Right. Moore working quickly up top. That one's pulled foul. He was sitting on that one. Just it was early. Yanked it way foul. They go with a broken glass for the home team. That's interesting.
They stole mine. I used that at home a few times.
Full count. Moore kicks and fires. That's shot right at Vincey, who, by the way, that is our man, Ashton Vincey at shortstop. Carnes is at third. Cole's at second. Pettigrew at first. And the Keith guy gets his really a first start in varsity play in conference action.
It finds you.
It does.
It never fails to find the new guy.
And well done from Vincey to be on his toes. Here's Paxton Flagg now, their catcher, right-handed bat. By the way, Ruby was a left-handed batter. You've got Bircher out in right. Mitchie is in center. And Braden Skaggs in left field for the Bulldogs. They're in their road grays. Navy blue Greenwood trimmed in white across the front. And navy blue numerals on the back with white trim. And that's in there for a called strike. 1-1 now to Flagg. 2 outs here, bottom of the first. And Moore brings it in there for a called strike. What you asked, Keith.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep it down, though. He's getting that higher strike, and you want to be able to get ground balls and fly balls and keep it at the knee. He's going to have to work it down a little bit.
That's like that. Oh,
whoa.
I guess it was inside a bit. Like we said, we're off to the side over here to the left. So
height-wise, it was perfect.
It certainly was. It was not low. Here's a 2-2. Off speed's chopped. Carnes, foul ball. And throws over, but just glove short of the bag and foul ground.
That worked out good. Get a strike. 2-2 count, 2 outs.
Yeah.
Roll them if you got them.
That's right. Deuces wild.
Deuces are wild.
Carson Zachary is their pitcher who's on deck. If Flagg can extend the inning here, he takes his time getting back into the batter's box. And he'll dig into the fake dirt. 2-2 now. Moore's ready up on top. It's hot out. Sun-drenched field. Off speed. Just a little inside. Whew. 3-2 now to Flagg.
That's 2 that have been borderline. That I mean, and again, we can't grab too much because we're off to the side. But man, they look good from over here.
You kind of watch Holt's glove. He walked him. Just that one was high, and a 2-out walk. So the Panthers matched Greenwood as they're going to have a courtesy runner come in for Flagg. It's 22. in to run for Greenbrier. I'll get you a name shortly. This is their pitcher, Carson Zachary. Mason Simone is their courtesy runner. First one of the pitchers, a called strike. More just pepper in that strike zone.
We've talked about percentages. You know, both offensive teams are better with 2 outs to try to get that runner to second base if they're going to try to score him.
Moore from the stretch, just missed upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caden Brooks is on deck, their third baseman.
If you take the percentages of how often runners score, they don't score. It's like 11% of the time if they're on first base when the ball's put in play with 2 outs.
They throw over and back in safely is Simone, the courtesy runner. Moore from the stretch up on top. 2 outs here, bottom of the first. A 2-out walk. And here it is. Guy in there for a called strike. Nasty off-speed stuff. Keith, you wonder if they had a clue that Carnes wasn't going to go today, or they just kind of surprised to see Moore here in game 1?
I bet they're surprised. I bet they really thought it'd be Carnes game 1, and so it kind of changes their preparation.
1 and 2 now. Moore throws over. Nobody. Slid back in safely. Petty holding. Of course, it's not like you don't have a scouting report because he's been our game 2 starter, so you know you're going to see him eventually, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. It's just 2 different approaches with Mason. You have to let the ball travel, know you're going to get off speed.
Got him. Racked up the chainsaw of backwards K as he froze Carson up and Moore with a strikeout to end the first inning. They left a man on base. No hits, no runs, no errors. No score. 1 inning in the books. A pivotal 5A West doubleheader here on the road in Greenbrier. Bulldogs can sweep to secure a postseason berth. A split, maybe. If you're swept, you're in a lot of trouble. 1 inning in the books. We'll bring you to the top of the second after this timeout on the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 seconds is fine. Thank you. That's fine. Okay. Yes, absolutely. We welcome you back to Panther Diamond here in Greenbrier. Jackson Cole will lead off for the Bulldogs, our second baseman here in the top of the second. No score. Carson Zachary back to work, the righty for the Panthers. Fastball's ripped out to left. That's down for extra bases. Cole first pitch swinging, and they got to it quickly. I'm not sure why he didn't get to second base, and Coach Brewer is fired up over there. And not sure, that's not Sandifer over there coaching first, but he's got to be on second base. It's a long single. But here's Austin Mitchell. Mitchie's our center fielder. Tough one there. That's one, and I don't know if Coach said stop over there, but Cole's got to read that and go on your own. I guess if you get thrown out, we say sorry later. First one's high to Austin Mitchell. And let's see if we can get Cole a second. Maybe via the steal. This flag kid's good behind the plate. Got to be careful. Mitchell waits on the 1-0. And it's low. 2-0.
Every run crucial. Every run vital. You see both teams right now. I mean, this got playoff feel to this game.
100%. You know, if we can sweep, and if Greenbrier gets swept, there's a chance they can miss, I believe. So there's a lot on this line. Swing and a miss. They throw down, and Cole's back in safely. We can go back to when Caden Wallace, maybe the best player to come out of Greenbrier for sure. And him and, I guess the ice kid, Burgess, was pretty good. Played third base. What was that old boy's name?
Yes.
Went to Crowder. Him and off speed. Bunts down. It is. Get back fair. It wouldn't. If we had a real feel, that thing might have kicked back off the grass lip, but it did not. Mitchell with a nice bunt down the third base line, but just stayed foul. But when Wallace and your son Payday Holt went after it here in the 2019 season finale, just like this, down here, doubleheader, Greenwood had to win one to get in and got swept. But it was certainly a fun show watching Wallace and Holt go at it that day. Here is Mitchell now, 2-2 count. Cole's over at first. That's in the fake dirt. Full count.
Greenwood's got to be aggressive with the fastball. They may not see more than one. Obviously, he's got a good changeup. It looks like a good slider.
And there's a ball ripped to center. Cole's going to get to second. Station to station. You think Keith would have scored there had he kept going on the original shot to the corner. However, probably would have been first and third for sure. But we'll take first and second, back-to-back singles, and the Bulldogs have something going here.
Why did he not go to second?
I don't know I'm not sure who that is over at first base. Coach
Schaefer. Yeah, it's not Sanford.
Right. I don't know if he just kind of locked him up when he turned. Maybe he thought he got to it quicker. But either way, here's Zach Zitzman now, our DH, a left-handed bat. So and Zachary up on top, and a bunt opportunity, and Zitzman couldn't get it down. Strike one. Carson Zachary is the pitcher. Zach Zitzman's the batter. We got Z's all over the place. Left-handed bat. Bulldogs have something brewing here. That's Austin Bircher right here out on deck, our right fielder.
Senior.
Nobody out here in the top of the second. Greenwood has something going with back-to-back singles. Bunt is down from Zitzman. It's a dandy. Nobody covering. No, he got there late and just got Zitzman, but the sacrifice was good as he moved the runners up. And now here's Austin Bircher, a senior, with a chance to a sac fly gets you the lead.
You may see another one. You may see either a safety squeeze. I mean, I see Coach point to right side. He's wanting something right side to score one. Depending on how he looks on the first swing, you may see you hate to do a all-out squeeze, but safety squeeze on turf is also scary because it's hard to kill it.
Right. Zachary brings it home. And swinging away for Bircher, and we've seen Bircher kind of square a butt just in a normal situation. I like to see him swinging away there right there in this situation.
Yep, deeper right side. You try to tell the kids, just keep your approach gap to gap, but just make sure at least the right side. Right there, strike.
Well, inside, Keith. Thank goodness.
Oof.
1-1.
I don't like sitting over here.
I don't either. But that's what we got to deal with.
Then we can't say anything to the umpire if he's right or wrong.
1-1.
He may be doing a great job, and we just don't even know it.
Right. Breaking balls in there for a called strike. Well, that's one off speed. And Coach Brewer's pit. He's not happy. He's walking with a purpose down the third baseline. We missed a sign there, didn't we?
It was bunt. He dropped his hands like he was going to bunt it, but then he never offered. He never got out in front, and it was a breaking ball that you saw was going to fall down into the zone. We've been getting the thigh-high strike.
So, 1-2 to Bircher. Boy, got to get it one across here. Zachary up on top for Greenbrier. Kicks and fires. Fastball's fouled off the other way. His approach looks right, though. Keith trying to go the other way if he's swinging away, which you have to now with 2 strikes.
His only detriment swinging, and Bircher will tell you, is sometimes his zone that he swings at expands a lot, like too much. As long as the pitcher stays around it, I have every bit of faith he'll put a bat on the ball. It's when he gets outside that zone.
And there's a breaking pitch inside. Tough. Great take, 2-2.
Great take. Ball just never made it back to the plate.
Mason Moore is out on deck, and he certainly hasn't had many at-bats in conference action, so and this one's fouled right back at us. No problem. Still 2-2. One out, runners at second and third for Greenwood. 2 singles in a row. A sack bunt from Zitzman moved him up. Here's Bircher now, senior. This one's a little swinging bunt, and Cole came home on a ball right back to the pitcher, and he's tagged out at home. Oh,
that's bad base running.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the play in front of you, and you know you can't score. You don't have to go.
Nope.
So you stay there and make them make the throw to first and see what happens. But again, that's bad base running.
So Bircher's going to get on with the fielder's choice. Now 2 outs, and here's Mason Moore. Can he help himself out? Greenwood with runners at the corners. Yeah, and it goes back to the single that Cole leaded off the inning with. If he should have been on second there, I have to assume that the coach shut him down there because the way he kind of stopped quickly is like, whoa. And so, but
yes.
Let's see if we can make amends here. Mason Moore can help himself out. Holt's out on deck if Moore can extend the at-bat here in the top of the second. And the bunt's down and it's fouled out of play. I say out of play, out to the first base dugout.
Yeah,
Strike one.
He missed a sign as well. He's bunting, and there's 2 outs.
And you heard it there from Coach Brewer. It's if you don't know the signs, you know.
Yeah,
we'll find something.
As a baseball player, you got to ask yourself, why would he give bunt with 2 outs? It does nothing except everybody's just going to take the out. So you got to step back and question it. If you think you got bunt, question why.
Yeah, step out. That's upstairs. Good eye. 1-1. Little room behind home. A pass ball. Mitchie's got speed.
2 seniors, and you may see a leave early here from Bircher.
And he doesn't leave and swinging from Moore.
Yeah, you definitely might see it after that swing.
Yep. Coach run through the signs. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. There's 2 outs. And Bircher needs to be going. There he goes. He left early. They didn't pay him attention. Swinging up the box. Can he get there? The second baseman actually scooted over on the steal, Keith. It almost kind of hurt us that he left early because the second baseman kind of went to cover, and the ball was hit right to him behind the plate. Wow. So Moore is out 4-3. The Bulldogs, a couple of base running errors, and they leave 2 men on base with 2 hits, no runs. We're in the middle of the second inning. Panthers coming to bat. It'll be Brooks, Knowlton, and Marquise after this timeout on the Sports Hog, 103.5. All right, 1 minute.
Let's go, Hold High Energy.
Dang it. That's perfect. We welcome you back to Greenbrier. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. 5A West doubleheader Greenwood baseball. Bulldogs got to get a split here. Keep their postseason hopes alive. There's the first pitch swinging, and Vincey couldn't pull this one off. He went down to grab it out of the air, just got through. And Caden Brooks is on at first base.
And that was, on turf, it's kind of easy to short hop and read. And it was just, I think it was just a misplay by Vincey, don't you think?
Well, they gave him a hit on the board, whatever that's worth.
Well, that's because you're at home.
Mm-hmm. Bumps down. It's a good one down the first baseline. Moore off, grabs, hit the base runner. And so everybody's safe.
Miscues.
Yep, that's back-to-back errors.
Well, that's what made it a good bunt, is the pitcher couldn't clear the runner running down the line. The question I would have is if he was in the running lane. You saw it against Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. That's the exact same thing that we saw at Arkansas, and they reviewed it, and the Hogs won that argument, which I disagree with. And Coach Brewer's going to go out and talk to the official, ask him about him running inside the base path.
That's why it hit him. It's right. Obviously hit his shoulder because he's running inside the base path.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if home plate blue wants to put his life on the line here at home.
He's not going to change it.
No.
But they're going to see that when they watch this back that runner was easily on the inside of the line.
And that's the exact same thing, which I didn't really agree much with the call, but it went in favor of Arkansas this weekend against Florida. Same exact scenario. Well, now Greenbrier's got some action going. The bunt is showed and holds up on a pitch that's high. Ball 1 to Caden Marquise, their right fielder. Left-handed bat. First 2 men on like Greenwood had. Bunts down, and it's going to be fouled over here to Greenwood's dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, almost a carbon copy. We'll see if we can get out of this the way Greenbrier did. Base running gaffes to help them.
You got to wish for the same thing. Do the little things, get your bunts down, and you got 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out.
Which we did that too. Bunt is shown, and the bunt is down. It's fouled right back over here to us. 1 and 2. No score, bottom second. Marquise, the left-handed bat, again more up on top for Greenwood. From the stretch, comes set, checks the runners. With 2 strikes, the bunt is off, and that one's outside. Popped out of Holt's glove, but he bounces on it and keeps the runners at bay.
Now, that just looked like that ball tried to reach way outside to catch it, and it just bounced out. I don't know if he took his eyes off of it for a second to check the runner.
2 and 2 now. Can Moore get a strikeout? Just missed. Full count. Maybe outside.
Ground ball would be great. Get a ground ball, turn 2.
Full count. Here it comes. This ball's in the air. Mitchell's got it. It's not deep enough for the runners to tag, so out number 1. That'll work too, Keith.
We'll take 1 out. The runners stay at first and second. And that's going to be something Coach Milam's not happy with, because he did the same thing where he asked his runner to sacrifice and get a bunt down, and they didn't get it done, and now it kind of puts them in a pickle.
Yep.
Ground ball, you're out of the inning, and any momentum you gained is gone.
Here's Jonah Ashworth. He's their DH, a right-handed bat. Runners at first and second for Greenbrier. Both reached on errors. And upstairs, ball 1. Mason Moore up on top for Greenwood. Working from the stretch, checks the runner at second base. There it is. Off speed to Vinci. Can he double him off? He sure did. Line drive, got it. And over to second with Cole guarding. And we doubled him off there. Base running gaff paid back by the Greenbrier Panthers. Oh,
nice
baby.
play. Good job of Moore to get one off the fist. Left the ball inside. He couldn't turn on it. Soft liner to Vinci. Good quick turn to Cole. And Cole's going to get greedy and get 1 more out. He was looking to go to first.
That's right. You got to go with a triple play and get that 4th out. Well, the Bulldogs got to outround a couple of errors and avoid disaster. No hits, no runs. There was 2 errors. And the Bulldogs got around it. They left a man on base as well. Whew, no score through 2 innings. High drama here. We'd like to thank our Grand Slam sponsors, J&H Automation Solutions, Craig Gigerich State Farm Insurance, Ducks Body Shop, Freedom Roofing, MSG Waste, Shirley's Tax Services, Taylor Family Vision, Top Notch Roofing, Virtue Energy Services, and Webb Energy Resources. Appreciate all of our sponsors up and down the line. So we're up on top now, and it's back to Ty Holt for the Bulldogs. Struck out to start the ball game. Let's see what Holt can do here in the top of the 3rd. No score, new life as Greenwood avoids catastrophe. Off speed, first pitch swing is a high chopper, fair ball. He'll throw across the diamond, pulls the first baseman, but had time to get Holt running. 5-3.
I don't know. He caught that in foul territory, but I guess he followed the ball, and the ball was in fair territory.
Well, yes, I think that's exactly what happened. One out here. Here comes Braden Skaggs now, who flied out to left field his first time up. Skaggs, a senior. First pitch, couldn't hold up, strike one.
It's that off speed, good off speed.
Yeah. It's Carson Zachary up there for Greenbrier. Here it is. Another off speed's in the fake dirt, 1-1. Zachary kicks and fires. Inside, 2-1 now to Braden Skaggs.
When you throw 70% of your pitches is off speed, that fastball that comes in about 85 looks about 92.
The 2-1's and off speed just got a piece of it. He's certainly got some command of mixing the pitches up. Carnes out on deck. He's funching at the bit. He's ready to hit a dinger. Opposite field shot. I'm calling it right now, Babe Ruth style. He's wearing number 3. Come on. Here's the 2-2. Just missed somewhere. Full count. One down here in the top of the third. Off speed's fouled back. Skaggs hanging around. Gigerich on his horse fielding foul balls back here. Here's Zachary for Greenbrier. Kicks and fires. That beamed him. Hey, you bet we will. A hit by a pitch, and there goes Skaggs down to first base. So Carnes now, who reached on an error his first time up, will try to keep the train, get the train on the tracks here. Coach Brewer running through the signs. Hasn't been real happy with the troops so far. They've missed a few signs.
Well, when you preach that this is like a playoff game and stuff, and then you come out not sharp, you have PTSD from last year at Marion. When you're playing Marion,
right? First pitch swinging from Carnes is fouled over to the Greenwood dugout.
And what I mean by that is that you get so tense and so tight, and you try so hard, it makes you mess up. Instead of you rising up, it actually brings you down because you're too tense, like not knowing how many outs, and base running, hitting, not getting bunts down, missing signs.
Yeah. They throw over, and Skaggs back safely. Standing up. 0-1 count. One down here in the top of the third, Grant Carnes. Third base today for Greenwood. A righty-righty matchup. And Carson Zachary brings it off speed, high and tight. 1-1.
I still think the bunt that they had, and I replayed it in my head because we're almost looking down the line. That guy was running down. That's the whole reason Mason was 4 foot inside. As we see a ball come in high off speed. But Mason was still 4 feet, and he still hit the shoulder almost in the back because he's on the inside of the – I don't see how the umpire couldn't call that.
I know. I agree. Here's the 2-1 now to Carnes. Zachary brings some fastball, and Carnes rips it. Just pulled foul, though. That's the hardest hit ball we've seen today. But it was just foul. I say that. One of their players pulled one foul pretty hard the other way in the first inning. 2-2 now to Carnes. Off speed. This one's a little more lazy, but it's pulled foul as well. 2-2 now to Carnes. Man at first is Skaggs. He was plunked on a full count offering. Pettigrew out on deck. If Carnes can stay out of a double play action. Here comes the 2-2. And there's a shot to third. Scooped over to second for one. Will they turn it? No, he's safe. Oh, whoa, they called him out. He did. So 5, 4, 3 double play. And the Bulldogs ultimately go 1, 2, 3 here in the inning. We're sure close over there.
Well, and I was just going to say before that is for them to double him off, he's going to have to hit it hard right to somebody, and he kind of capped one. Third baseman kind of moves to the hole and keeps it going. It was just a really good exchange and turn by the second baseman.
Today's game being brought to you in part by our Dugout Club sponsors: Anchored Hope, Bin Sanitized, Boondocks, Farmers Bank, Greenwood Express Lube, Liberty Roofing, Oak Bauer Pest, West Ark Plumbing, and Ronnie Terry Roofing and Contracting. We are in the middle of the third inning. There's no score, and I can't even begin to tell you the scenarios, but we've talked about it a little bit, Keith, for Greenwood to get in the postseason. Obviously, if you can sweep today, it's no big deal. Now, what happens after you sweep if you can? Well, you go to 10-4. So that guarantees you will bounce over. You'll be the 2 seed, I think, no matter what if you sweep today. If for some reason Russellville gets swept by Van Buren, then you could go to the 1 seed because Russellville will drop to 10-4. And matching records, we have the tiebreaker on them, I believe.
Yes, we do.
So
it's just the amount of scenarios are crazy.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like I said, we could be any 4 seeds and not even make it. Here's Miles Miller. He's their 9-hole batter, and the first one's a ball to him.
But it could be worse. That you could be one of those teams where you need certain things to happen. We don't. We just got to take care of business and win.
That's right. You kind of control your own destiny, if you will. Miller fouls that one out of play over the top, straight back. A right-handed bat, center fielder. Mason Moore back to work for Greenwood. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed shot. Got by Carnes just between the bag and him. He dove at it. It's going to be a double, as you can see. That's how you do it. Get around there to second base. And a leadoff double from the 9-hole, Keith. And we know what that's all about down there at the bottom of the order.
We talk about that's where you win and lose championships, is how good is your bottom 3. And, you're talking about needing to score, and your 9-hole comes up and hits a double down the line. That's pretty good.
Here is Andy James. Coach Brewer looking for a bunt. He's on the fake grass at first. James grounded out to the first baseman. First pitch swinging.
I feel like 1 run's going to be pretty important.
Yep. And bunts down and fouled back out of play. Strike 1. No score, bottom 3. A leadoff double here in the 3rd. More from the stretch for Greenwood up on top.
Look for a missed bunt, throw behind to get the runner right here. He's got a big lead. He'll be bouncing off, anticipating the bunt.
And it's there, but it fouled again over the top of Holt. No chance, but an 0-2 hole.
And Milam can't be happy. It's like he's bunting for a hit. He's taking off before he ever bunts it, and his job as a batter is to get it down first. I mean, and that's the problem. That's where Brewer and Milam both are newer coaches at a program. You got to instill your will. It takes a little bit for the kids to understand exactly what you want and to execute it the way you want it.
And Moore steps off to check the runner at second, trying to see if James was going to square. I think the bunt is off with 2 strikes. Doesn't have to be. And he's swinging away. Off speed. Just inside, I guess, ball 1. 1-2. Ty Ruby's out on deck for Greenbrier. A left-handed bat. Here's Moore up on top for Greenwood. Checks the runner at second, Miller, and comes home with it. Just outside. 2-2 now. Boy, it's the ones you got to get right here. You're talking about a guy that's been trying to give you an out with the bunt attempts. Now swinging away. Still want to get that out. Here's the 2-2. Off speed. Holt tried to frame it. Home plate blue wasn't having any part of it. Full count. Looks like they're going to have to groove one here to get a strike, and that's what the batter's sure looking for, something to drive. Here comes the payoff. It's in the air. Carnes says, I've got it, coming down the line. He's in foul ground, and Grant makes it for out number 1. To pop up to the third baseman.
And if you're Coach Milam, you're just wanting a ground ball to the right side. Be late, do anything. Move the runner over here, whatever you can do. And you can see the frustration, both coaches. Blood pressure being tested first few innings of today's game.
No doubt about it. Ty Ruby and Coach Brewer's going to play him back. Not expecting a bunt here for sure with 1 out. Ruby is ready. He lined out to the shortstop, to Vinci, in the first inning. Called strike. To Ruby, a left-handed batting first baseman. That's Miles Miller out there at second. A leadoff double here in the bottom of the 3rd. Can Greenwood get around some more Panthers roaming around the bases? There's a shot to Cole. No, he boots it. Just a routine grounder, and Cole boots it out there. And there's runners at the corners.
Yeah, and I mean, you're basically, when the ball's hit to him, thinking, okay, you got 2 outs, runner at third, exactly where you want to be.
Yep.
and he just tries to flip his glove instead of get in front of it, field it, throw it.
That's the third error. Holtz out, runs through the signs. Now still double play in order, runners at the corners, but you've got Paxton Flagg, pretty good catcher. Walked his first time up. He certainly can swing a good bat. One down here in the bottom of the third. Outside.
Be interesting. I didn't see Cole breaking on the pitch. If he's going to cut it off and throw it home, or if Ty's going to throw it all the way through or fake it. I mean, to me, throw him out. I don't think they're going to go. The runner at third is too close to where you might be able to throw it, tag, and still get him at home.
Mm-hmm. They throw over to first there, and Ruby's back in safely. Moore's up on top. He comes home with the pitch. There's one towards the first base coach's box. Foul. 1-1 now to Flagg.
I was going to ask for a double play ball, but the way we've kind of been playing defense, I'd rather have a strikeout, I guess.
Pop out. We've seen that. Here's Moore up on top from the stretch, checks the runners, and now comes home to Flagg. That's upstairs. 2-1 now, the count to the Greenbrier catcher.
See, you look, and the left fielder's flat-footed, and if Ty does throw it, he gets there late. If it gets past him, I mean, everybody's got to be moving. Right fielder's got to be moving after the pitch, and everybody's just too flat-footed, like just waiting for something to happen.
Throw over to first and back in safely is Ruby. Reached on an error. A leadoff double for Miller. He's over at third. Moore up on top with one out. And here it comes home to Flagg. And there's a ball foul pulled outside third base. 2-2.
Mason competing on the mound.
Yeah.
What you don't want is for him to start feeling like he has to do it all and pressing and trying to be too fine, and just, he needs to be able to pitch and trust his defense behind him.
That's right. 2-2. Flagg digs in from the right side. Walked his first time up. Moore throws to first, and back in safely is Ruby. Artificial surface here at Greenbrier. Entire field. No score, bottom third. Moore up on top with runners at the corners and comes home to Flagg. And the runner goes to second.
It was a delay steal, and Holt really couldn't do anything with it.
I thought it was going to be a strike, to be honest with you, but I guess just a hair high. And now it's second and third. Ty came up, tried to pump fake, but the runner at third set still. So full count with one out still. Bulldogs can still get out of this mess. Let's see if Moore can bring a strikeout. And he plunked him. Well, I guess the force is back in order.
Look,
with the bases loaded.
Yeah, the corner should go 4 and then to home. Take that. But in the middle, you're going to turn a traditional double play as we see a courtesy runner come in for Flagg.
It's Mason Simone. He ran earlier for Flagg.
I get a feeling this would be a good guy to double up here.
This is their pitcher, Carson Zachary. Struck out looking to end the first inning. One out here. Bases loaded, bottom 3. Mason Moore comes home with it. Swing and a miss. Yeah, another strikeout here would be nice. Moore up on top.
Man, I feel like it's a very tiny zone. I mean, that was been a strike high.
1-1 now to Carson Zachary. There's a ball ripped over Carnes into left field. One run's going to score. Skaggs gets it. He dropped it, but they held him to the runner at third. So one run's going to score. And Greenbrier strikes first with Carson an RBI.
Courtesy runner number 11 going to come in and run for the pitcher who just got an RBI single.
That is Landon Connell. Maybe Connell. And Moore comes home with it. Still bases loaded. And hit him on the arm. That's not good. And the merry-go-round begins as Ruby's going to come in and score. It's an RBI for Caden Brooks, hit by pitch. Still just one out. Well, you talked about it at the outset, Keith, before a ball was even pitched. Walks and errors, free base runners, you can't have. And Greenwood already has 3 errors.
It's the difference in any game at every level is the better chance you have of winning means you don't put people on base for free. And we've done that today with our errors, and it's not been good. It's not been good to recover. And, at some point you got to turn it around and compete and fight.
Here's Landon Knowlton now, their second baseman. He reached on an error back in the second inning, was stranded out at first base. Moore comes home with it, and that's inside. Ball 1.
I mean, with Carnes possibly down, you got to look at, Petty, the freshman Aaron Taylor as your pitchers. I don't know if Zitzman's pitched enough lately to.
A shot to Vincey, scooped over to second for 1. Safe at first. And a run scores. So they forced Brooks at second. That's 6-4, out number 2. Knowlton reaches on the fielder's choice. Got an RBI out of the deal. And Zachary's over at third. 3-0 now. And here is Caden Marquise, the left-handed batting right fielder. Runners at the corners now for Greenbrier. There's 2 outs, though, for the Bulldogs. Moore battling still up there. It's hot. This is the first real hot day we've had in conference play. There's a shot to Cole. Scoops it up and over to first base. Well, we got to the third out, but there was some damage done for these Bulldogs. Greenbrier, 1 hit. 2 hits, I beg your pardon. There was a double, but they got 3 runs. They left 2 on base. There was an error. Couple hit batsmen. Bulldogs have dug themselves a hole here on the road, and what really needs a must-win game, either this one or the second one. Got to get us at least a split down here to keep your postseason hopes alive.
And that's the minimum, but you and I talked about it. You control your own destiny.
Yep.
If you don't have the errors and you compete, I mean, you just got to be able to get out there and play baseball. You can't play tight. It shouldn't change. It's still the same ball, same distances everywhere.
Yep. The surface is your only excuse. It's different.
GMAC, they take hundreds and thousands of grounders in the off season when it's raining. It's not like turf is easier to me.
Right. Well, I agree with that. I was going to say that the surface is your only difference, but I would think that turf would be a little easier.
It is, and you just got to compete. And right now, that's what Greenwood, when they press, we don't do well. We don't rise to the occasion right now when we press. Well,
the good thing is there's plenty of chances left, unless the Pettigrew can get it started.
Definitely can't panic in the third inning, down, starting the fourth, down 3-0.
Ball low, I guess.
And if you're patient and wait for a ball, they're going to have to throw one over the plate. He's being tight for everybody.
That's true. That's in the fake dirt. 2-0. Pettigrew struck out his first time up. Let's see if he can get the bat on the ball. That's a little low, just under the knees. 3-0.
He better not call that.
Here comes the 3-0. 4-pitch walk for Pettigrew. That's what we need to get things going. Here comes Jackson Cole. Now, he's 1 for 1. Hit a shot to the left field corner, but got held up at first base. Let's see if Cole can sit on one. Now, Keith, 4 straight pitches, ball. This guy's a pretty good pitcher. I think you're going to see a strike here.
Yeah, and you still got to be a contact hitter like Cole. You got to be aggressive and looking for it.
He hit him. Sure did. We'll take it. That brings the tying run to the plate with no outs.
And you may look at a bunt here. You may look at something to try to get 2. If they score 3 and you can answer with 2 back, that's huge for Greenwood. 1 minimum, get 2, and you're rolling. You don't have to get all 3 right here.
And Brewer goes through the signs with Mitch. From the stretch, Zachary comes home. Swinging away,
That's
little
it.
flares down. Got behind the first baseman. In the right field she goes. Petty will get held up. And it's bases loaded with nobody out. You talk about aggressive, Keith. You got it from Mitchie there.
Yep, slash, showed bunt early, and then just put I don't even think it was a barrel. Just hit it well enough to get it past the defense.
Look out now. Here comes Zach Zitzman, our DH. Sacrifice bunt in his first at-bat. Keith, the wind blowing out to right. This guy's got home run power. Boy, this would be nice to see Zitzman get a hold of one right here.
Outfield shallow.
And he went for it there. Good pitch to swing at, just right through it. Strike one.
Yep, take a deep breath. Pull it. If you want to pull it hard. Hit it between first and second right here.
Here's the 0-1. Off speed. Catcher tried to bring it back up. Couldn't do it. 1-1. 3-0 Greenbrier. Bulldogs have bases loaded quickly here with no outs in the fourth. Zitzman just couldn't get the bat on it. 1-2.
Just early. You've got the angle. We can see him swinging, and that ball hasn't even made it to the plate yet.
Let's see if he comes with some gas here, Keith. Surely not. Pitch to us. He tried upstairs, though. 2-2.
Surely has to change his eyes, get his eyes going up, and then bringing something off speed down low and away right here.
He did. He went and got him. Strikeout number one. And here's Bircher now.
Even a double play gets, if you can hit it up the middle. You don't want to hit it to the corners where they come home first, but at least get a run right here.
Bircher reached on a fielder's choice last time up. First pitch swinging, strike one. He steps out, resets, now he's ready. Austin Bircher, Greenwood's right fielder. Zachary brings it home. There's a ball that's fouled out of play over at the Greenbrier dugout, and Bircher's in a hole 0-2. Boy, the Bulldogs got bases loaded real quick. Keith on a walk, a hit by pitch, and a single. A strikeout, and now an 0-2 hole. Scott Hollins come out on deck for more, and we're going to see a pitching change. This one's in the air, in the infield fly. The batter's out, but that ball is caught by the third baseman who came over. That's Brooks. So that's going to pop out to the third baseman. Out number two. And Scott Hollins going to pinch hit here.
No, and you hear people say be a hero. You just want baseball players. Just do what you normally do. I think that's what the kids think is I have to do something special. If you play baseball every day and you're used to just hitting it to the gaps, just do what you do. I mean, you don't have to be somebody special. Just be a baseball player.
Here's Holland now. Let's see if Scotty can find one. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Holland, a junior. And here comes the first one from Zachary. Upstairs, ball one. Holland comes in the fourth to pinch hit. And way to hang off of that one. It was low. He's ahead of 2-0.
Base runners got to be on their toes. Everybody's playing behind them. Don't want somebody to sneak behind you.
And Zachary means a fastball. Holland just a little late. Fouls it back into the Greenwood Sports Center van. 2-1. Carson's ready. Quickly coming home with it. That one bounced in off the fake dirt.
Good job by the catcher.
Yeah.
I mean, that was way short.
He flagged it down.
I see what you did there. Carson flag?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now let's see how this is the mentality you like to see from a ball player. Is Holland going to stay aggressive or just try to hope for a walk and an RBI? Here it comes. And I like it swinging away, but get down. Flags off and couldn't make the catch, so they got new life. It's a good effort from Paxton Flag back there. Just couldn't haul it in, diving for it. And it's a full count with 2 outs, bases loaded, so everybody's going to get a head start. Let's see if Holland can get a bat on this thing. What are you thinking, Keith, from the pitcher?
I think as comfortable as he is with his off speed, I think he's going to go off speed here.
I agree. Runners are going. Ball's chopped foul.
It was off speed, left it a little bit high. You know, it hadn't fooled the batters. Everybody that swung at it has been early and chopped it.
Yeah, right.
And if they'll just wait and have a right center approach, it'll be so much easier to hit a line drive with that thing.
There go the runners. And hit him. Sure did. Hit him on the shoulder, and it's an RBI. The Bulldogs are on the board. And here comes Ty Holt, the Bulldogs catcher. RBI hit by pitch.
See Coach Milam go talk to and basically he's going to calm things down. He's hit 2 batters. He's walked 1. Greenwood still doesn't have a hit this inning, do we?
No.
No, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Mitchie.
Yep.
Mitchie.
Mm-hmm. 1 hit. There's a walk. 2 hit batsmen. Meeting on the mound. We got a meeting over here in front of our dugout. Holland with a nice at-bat. The Bulldogs are on the board now. 3-1, top of the 4th.
And who do we have at second base? Is it Mitchell at second?
That is Mitchell at second. Cole's at third.
So you got to think, knowing that you're anticipating the swing with 2 outs, you're going to score 2 on a base hit to the outfield. Doesn't matter how shallow they are. With Mitchell at second base, he's got to be thinking. Score from second.
Let's see what Tahoe's got up his sleeve. 0 for 2 today. And Carson Zachary up on top for Greenbrier. Here it comes. First pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 now to Holt, freshman catcher. Here we go. Off speed's ripped. Got to the third baseman. Scoops, though. Missed the tag. He'll throw over and... Wait a minute. They're saying no one called out or safe at first. He calls the runner out. He was not out at third.
No, that's why he threw the ball across.
Mitchell, they're going to say, was tagged out going to third. So that certainly wasn't an out, but I'm wondering if he's saying the guy was out at first, because he certainly wasn't either. Holt beat the throw out. That's tough there. Well, you talk about rookie officiating. Coach Brewer not happy and shouldn't be. Well, all right, so we're going to say that Mitchell is forced out 5 unassisted for out number 3. So Greenwood's going to leave the bases loaded. There was no errors. We did get a run across and had a hit. Middle of the 4th inning, 3-1. Greenbrier leads the Bulldogs. Mason Moore back out to work for the Bulldogs. We'll take a quick break on the Sports Hog 103.5. $30 seconds. Hey, man, what's going on?
I thought that got through, but he didn't tag Mitchell, did he?
He did not tag him, no. Now, if you want to come out and say he ran out of the baseline, I guess that's always a judgment. That's usually how they cop out, but I didn't even see him say that.
Well, and the baseline is what the base runner establishes that. If he goes around, if he has to go around the runner that's fielding it.
Right. Keith, we're talking about the tag was not applied. Most umpires will cop out and say he ran out of the baseline, which we obviously know that didn't happen either.
That's right. No, he went to avoid the tag and just went around him, and he went to reach and he missed the tag, and then he goes to throw, like you said, went over to throw, and Ty slides in head first at first, safe, and nobody made a call either place. I never saw somebody say out.
Right. Well, Bulldogs got to run across. Moore back to work here. He'll look at their 8, 9, and 1, and this is Jonah Ashworth, and the first one's low for ball 1. Ashworth lined out to to shortstop, Vinci back in the 2nd inning. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Tried to check it up and couldn't. 1-1. Mason Moore, the right-handed junior. He's pitched well today. Just missed outside, I guess. 2-1. Right. Here's the 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. That's exactly right. Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. Just pick a zone and stick with it. You heard a Greenwood fan holler at the umpire. I like that. Here's the 3-1. This one's in the air. It's in play. Can Petty find it? And Holt said it's out. Good job from the catcher to get over down the line and let him know. Full count now. Bottom of the fourth, 3-1. Bulldogs had bases loaded with no outs. Got one across.
That's going to come back to bite, I hope not.
And this one's a shot towards Cole. He'll gobble it second. Better hurry. He's called him out. Boy, it was close. Nice speed from Ashworth, and Cole almost nonchalanted that a little bit too much.
Our middle infield's got to be aggressive.
Yep.
Go get the ball.
But he's out. We'll take that out. Here's Miles Miller. He was the hero. Got this thing going in the third with a leadoff double. Scored a run for Greenbrier and got him with that 3-1 lead now. Here's Moore. First one to him's a called strike. Man. That's been a 50-50 there. Here's the 0-1. This one's lifted to center. Mitchell on his horse back towards the fence. Draws the bead. And he's got it for out number 2. Well, we've talked about it, Keith. 2/3 of the earth covered with water. The other third, Austin Mitchell.
He gets such a great job, jump off the bat.
Top of the order now is Andy James. And he's 0 for 2. And an off-speed's in there for a called strike. Popped out to third. Grounded out to first, unassisted. That's in there for a ball. 1-1. Off speed, called strike. Moore working quickly. Here it comes, the 1-2. This one's fouled, pushed, slicing out right side into the bullpen-looking area out there, called a storage facility. And a long strike. Andy James. A 1-2 from Moore. This one's in play. Got through the 3-4 hole. Just one of them good hit. Hit it where they ain't.
Just stuck. It was an outside pitch. He just threw his bat and hands at it and found the hole between first and second.
Yep. Here's Ty Ruby now, who reached on an error, scored a run in the third, lined out to shortstop in the first inning. That's that hot shot right to Vinci we talked about, the ball finding you. He's a left-handed bat. And they throw over, and he's back in safely, head first. Andy James over there. A 2-out single. Bottom of the fourth. I gave him a run, but I don't know if he scored yet. That's in there for a called strike. That's pretty clairvoyant. We'll see if he comes around and scores. If so, I'm going to get the lottery numbers from the scorekeeper.
Yeah.
I think he meant to put on the hit marks and put it on the run side. Here's the 0-1. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Moore comes home with it. There goes the runner. Holt throws down. Did he get him on the foot? Boy, his foot was in the air. I thought Vinci almost made a great play. He kind of had to go jumping around and dive for it. 1-1.
Yeah, that's what Coach is telling Ty. The ball took Ty right behind the runner, and he kind of had to throw it behind his head.
Yeah, behind the batter, you mean?
Yeah,
yes.
behind the batter. So the fact that he got it there was pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the 1-1. Runner at second now. And there's a chopper off the mound. Moore. It's going to be a tough one, Keith. Just threw that one away. And the runner's going to come around to score. That's Moore kind of rushed a bit. Had miscue on the throw. Ruby's going to reach on the error. And now he's at second base. And a run crosses. Boy, they did know what they were talking about. It's 4-1. How about that?
Well, Moore, when he throws it sidearm, his ball has so much run, and that's what we could see right where it went. It ran back to the baseline, and he's going to have to learn to either lead Pettigrew further inside or come over the top.
Yep. Here's Paxton Flagg, their catcher now with 2 outs. They're in the middle of a rally. They've got one across already. It's 4-1, and that's in there for a called strike. And that's the 4th error on the Bulldogs. Moore comes home with it. Just missed outside, I guess. 1-1. 2 outs here at the bottom of the 4th. They matched the run the Bulldogs got in the top of the inning here. Moore kicks and fires. Off speed's lifted. Bircher's got a bead. It's tailing. And he makes the catch out there in right field. Well, there was damage done. It was an error that caused the Bulldogs to lose 1 run here in the inning. There was 1 hit, 1 run, 1 error, 1 left on base. 4 innings are in the book. Greenbrier 4, Greenwood 1. We'll take a timeout. The Sports Talk 103.5. 1 minute.
And you're sure about that score? 4-1?
100%.
Okay.
It's 4-1. Let's go, Skag. Let's go on, baby. Let's go. Come on. Have a little fun out there. Let's go. All right. Thank
you so much.
Yeah, your dad gave me this new mixer. I think it's worked well. That's right. We're back here at Greenbrier. We go to the 5th inning as they're going to reset the scoreboard. Greenwood trailing 4-1. And Carson Zachary back to work in Skaggs. First pitch swinging, a high hop to the third baseman. Had the double pump, but he got it over there. And 5-3 on the putout.
Well, that's the difference in turf and grass.
Yes.
Grass, it never makes it to the third baseman. It's probably an infield hit.
I need to change up. I guess we're going to say that your son got on a fielder's choice back there. Let me finish my book from the last inning. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Here's Carnes now with 1 out. Upstairs. Ball 1. Ground into a double play. Reach on an error for Carnes. Zachary brings it home. This ball's ripped past the third baseman. That's going to be hopefully a double. Carnes takes a big round, and he is head first into second. Save. It was closer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, and the umpire made it closer than he was easily got his hand in, slid to the outside of the bag as the Tad came to the inside of the bag. Good job by Grant with 1 out to get a double.
Now, all that being said, now maybe I'm thinking, well, I don't know why Cole didn't take off. Maybe there's something in that corner we can't see.
Right.
That ball came in pretty quick. I thought it was going to be a no doubt double.
Their pitcher's at 75 pitches, which is not bad for the
We're in the top of the 5th.
top of the 5th inning.
Here's Zachary. Looks at second, comes home to Pettigrew. It's in the fake dirt. Ball 1. Artificial surface here at Greenbrier. Cole's out on deck. Greenwood can do some damage here with a 1-out double, and that one's in the fake dirt. Good job from Flag to flag that one down as well back there. 2-0.
Because you've got Greenwood with 4 hits, Greenbrier with 4 hits. The difference is, is the errors.
That's low. 3-0 now to Pettigrew. He's walked and struck out, scored a run, our only run. Well, I have us with 4 errors. I think that I don't know if the game changer has it
right.
for all of them. And that's in there for a called strike. Taken all the way, and why not? 1-out double for Carnes. He's out there. Here it comes.
Ball
in the
4.
dirt. Pettigrew on for the second time. Walking again. Here's Cole now. He's singled and was hit by a pitch. Stranded on third. Actually cut down at home. I have 1 unassisted, but that was actually 1-2. As they threw to the catcher and got him out in the second inning. Here's Jackson with runners at first and second. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. 1 out. Tying run at the plate. top of the 5th. Off speed, good take. He wanted to load up. Watched it go through 1-1 now. Bulldogs in a must-win here, one of these games to get in the postseason. Here's the 1-1 to Jackson Cole. Fastball's upstairs. Well, that one had a little hair on it, Keith.
That's probably upper 80s right there.
Yeah, Carson Zachary reared back for that one. The right-handed hurler for Greenbrier. Here comes the 2-1. Off speeds upstairs. 3-1.
It looks, just the way he's had the last 3 at-bats, it looks like he's just kind of lost it, like he's tired. Like, I don't know how deep he usually goes, but he just looks a little bit tired. Maybe this heat.
Could be. Cole lifts 1-2 right field. The right fielder's drawing the bead. A good tag from Carnes. The throw goes over to third, and Carnes backs up and stays there. F9. Cole got a piece of it, just tailed right into the right fielder. And there's 2 outs now for Austin Mitchell. Runners at first and second still. Mitchell. He's 2 for 2 today, a couple of singles. And that one's inside. He was the unfortunate out on the fake tag earlier to end the 4th inning. Running to third. This one's fouled out of play upstairs, right side. 1-1.
Well, I see Greenwood get at least a run right here. You think anything to the outfield, Grant's going to score?
1-1. This one's fouled up straight back over the top. And Mitchell down to his last strike here in the top of the 5th. 2 outs. Carnes at second, Pettigrew at first. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Mitchell was going for the gusto and just couldn't connect with an off-speed delivery down in the zone. Bulldogs had 1 hit. Left 2 on base. They've left 8. There were no errors. Middle of the 5th. 4-1 Greenbrier. Today's game brought to you in part by our Grand Slam sponsors. J&H Automation Solutions. Craig Gigerich State Farm Insurance. Duck's Body Shop over in Mansfield. Freedom Roofing. MSG Waste. Shirley's Tax Services. Taylor Family Vision. Top Notch Roofing. Virtue Energy Services and Web Energy Resources. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Postseason will be the 9th, 10th, and 11th of May. The state tournament is at Harrison. As you've heard, if you've been watching or listening, the boys can be anywhere from 1 seed to not in the tournament. So these games are imperative today. A sweep, and you don't have to worry about it. A split, more than likely in. Get swept, and you're going to need a whole lot of help. It's 4-1. Carnes shut down for precautionary reasons, so it didn't start here in game 1. It's been Mason Moore. He's been pretty good. First pitch to their pitcher is Zachary, and he hits a base hit to right field.
You know, Mason's right at 71 pitches, giving up 4 hits, 4 runs. 2 of those are earned. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. He's been solid. It's just defense hadn't helped him out much, and the offense hasn't done what it needed to try to make this game even or with the lead.
Yes. We've had runners in scoring position. Had a bad break on a call. That didn't help things either. Here's Caden Brooks. Reached on an error and was hit by a pitch. RBI with the bases loaded in their 3-run third. This is first pitch swinging, fouled up out of play. Strike 1. Carnes up on the fake grass at third. Petty holding on the runner at first. Mason Moore up on top. They've even got a turf mound here. Moore checks the runner. And now comes home. Off speeds in there for a called strike. That's nasty. And I know that ball went.
Oh, it did.
Our vantage point's over here off to the right side, or left side, actually, on the third base side. So don't get a good look at the balls coming in. Swing and a miss. Not a good strikeout there from Mason Moore for out number 1. That is only his second K of the day, but it's a big one. Here's Landon Knowlton, rather, their second baseman.
Keep an eye on the delay.
1 out. Moore throws over, and back in head first is.
I had to take off my headset. This team will not straight steal. We've seen them take off a couple times, but all of them been delay steals, which basically means they bounce a couple times, so no one yells runner.
Yep.
Ty pretty much has to pick it up. By that time, he's taking 2 or 3 extra steps.
There he goes. No problem. A hit and run. This ball's fouled out of play. And that is Landon Connell, their courtesy runner, actually, out there for their pitcher. And that's strike 1.
Yeah, back to the delay. And the delay in high school works. It works great if your middle infield don't kind of go to the middle and your catcher kind of doesn't pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get there quickly.
Mason Moore up on top. Checks the runner, and now comes home. That one's fouled out of play. He's way ahead now, 0-2. Strikeout after the leadoff single here in the 5th. 1 down. Well, I like what I've seen from Moore. It was my little pep talk I gave him a pregame, I think. I gave him some love. He's up on top. He'll throw over.
Well, and part of it, we talk about the defense not really helping him out. He had a chance to help himself out a couple times, and he'd love to have those back. Those are difficult. And
sure.
When you're a multi-position high school, it's tough to work on PFPs, pitcher fielding practices, every week, every day.
It's true. That one's tomahawked foul over to the first base side from Knowlton for Greenbrier. He's reached on an error and an RBI fielder's choice. Stranded at first base twice. 0-2 counts, 4-1 Greenbrier here in the bottom of the 5th. Bulldogs 2 more at-bats here in game 1 of this doubleheader. And Moore checks the runner from the stretch. Checks him again, now comes set. And comes home with it. Just outside. It's a good pitch. 1-2 now. Sun-drenched field. We're looking right into it, set up over here on the third base line just outside the fence by the Greenwood on deck circle. There's a chopper on the ground. It's in fair play. Carnes, no, it was fouled off the batter's foot. Okay. Foul ball.
That's smart.
Yeah. And Knowlton will come down and talk to Coach Milam. Tough it out. Can't really rub any dirt on it. On the artificial surface. Here's Moore back up on top. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Greenwood needing to find a win here on the road. And Mason Moore up on top. He'll come home. A ball. 2-2. I wouldn't mind him throwing the same pitch again. Been a 50-50 spot. A great take there from Knowlton. This one's lifted to shallow center. It's going to be down. Old Texas leaguer, if you will. Went 144 feet.
Yeah. That's all he needed. That's what he got.
And there's runners at first and second now with 1 out. And it's Caden Marcus. He's a left-handed bat. 0 for 2 today. Flied out to center, grounded out to second to end the 3rd inning. Like to see him here again. Double play ball. Moore comes home with it. First pitch swinging. That's to Vinci. Gobbles to second for 1. Not in time. And good play from Petty. Tried to throw back over to third and catch the courtesy runner Connell sleeping, but he couldn't do it. Marcus is at first on the fielder's choice. They forced out Knowlton at second for out number 2, 6-4. And here's Jonah Ashworth, their DH. He's 0 for 2. Lined out to short, grounded out to second. 2 outs here, but there's a runner at third for Greenbrier. And a runner at first as well at the corners. Here's Ashworth, the right-handed bat. Moore up on top for Greenwood. Checks the runners, comes home. First pitch swinging right to Vinci. Got him, baby. That a boy. Good to see Mr. Vinci. Leonardo Ashton da Vinci getting some action out there. Had one early little miscue, but for the most part, a solid shortstop in his inaugural conference work at the 6-hole, if you will, defensively. There was 2 hits. They left 2 on base. They've left 7 on the day. 5 innings are in the books here in Game 1 of this 5A West doubleheader as Carson Zachary comes back out to work for Greenbrier. We will take a break here on the Sports Hog 103.5.
1 minute.
A minute. Okay.
You got to win the next 9 innings. Either these 2 here and come back here, or the next 7. Something. I mean, that's worst case scenario. You got to win the next 9.
Yep. That's right. Let's go, Zach.
Sorry, should have been 30. Sorry. I know. 10.
Maybe
15.
Maybe hit a homer while we're off the air. We can call it on a live stream.
Nobody needed to see that anyway.
Right. Well, they're seeing it.
No, needed to see it metaphorically.
Right.
Thank
All right.
you.
0-1 to Zitzman.
Good piece of hitting.
And an 0-1 pitch into Zitzman's laced out into center field for a leadoff single here from the Greenwood DH. That's what we were looking for from Sleepy Zitzman. And now here's Bircher. 4-1 Greenbrier, top of the 6th. Bulldogs need a rally right here.
Zitzman had swung and missed at the previous 7 balls that he'd swung at, and he was trying to hit them hard. He did a great job of just letting up and making good barrel contact. That was a great swing and ball in play.
Here's Bircher showing bunt. It's down the first baseline. Gobbled up foul. And well done there from Zachary, the Greenbrier pitcher, to get over there and wait for it to get foul and get it quickly before it had any delusions of grandeur getting back in play.
And that's where he's got to know you're on turf. You got to bunt the outside of the ball, so the spin is kind of going back towards the plate. If you bunt the inside of the ball, it's going to kind of slowly creep to that line. And the pitcher just patiently waited for it to get all the way there.
That was a good bunt from Birch. Let's see if he can. I'll take another one just like it. All you got to do is run inside the baseline, let him hit you in the back, throw him to first. It seems to be the M.O. Here's the 0-1. The bunt's down. This one's too hard back to the pitcher. He's going to throw over anyway and almost threw it away. Advances the runner, but there's one out now. Zitzman goes up to second on the sack bunt.
See number 12, Cooper Webb, get in right here. He'll be batting for Moore. I'm guessing Moore's probably days done on the mound, because this is the second time that they've hit for him, so he'll be done.
So Webb, he's a freshman on the right-handed bat. Comes in the 6th here in Mason Moore's spot. 1 down, runner at second is Zitzman. Big spot for Moore. He's been in some spots before coming up through the ranks. Let's see if Coop can get a bat on the ball. Digs in from the right side, lanky kid. And Carson Zachary comes home. That one's in the dirt. Ball 1, the fake dirt. Carson Zachary has gone the distance so far for these Panthers. He's been pretty good. Called strike. Webb's seen it now. He's maybe taken to a strike. Big spot here for the freshman. Wow. Zitzman's got a lead at second. That's in the fake dirt. 2-1. 2-1 to Webb, and here it comes. Fastball in there for a called strike. Boy, he put that one in there. That thing was scooting from Carson Zachary. Now let's see what he does. He's got him guessing. Here's the 2-2. Off speed, and Webb lifts this one to center. Will it get down? It does not. Caught. And Zitzman Doesn't even fake the tag. He got a piece of wood on it, but in Adam ball, we go to the top of the order, and Ty Holt.
Good barrel off speed, kind of weighted back, and surprisingly hit it pretty good for an off speed.
Holt is 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice. He was the one that batted that ball that we had a little controversy on the tag out at third. There's 2 down. That's in the AstroTurf for ball 1. Zitzman's out at second. Holt going to keep the rally alive here in the top of the 6th. Off speed's in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Skaggs out on deck if Holt can extend the at-bat here in the top of the 6th. 4-1 Greenbrier. Off speed's in the turf. 2-1 now for the Greenwood catcher. Zachary up on top for Greenbrier. Checks Zitzman at second and comes home. Fastball, and Holt goes to the right field. Right fielder got a nice jump on it. A good read from their right fielder, and it's out number 3. Well, the Bulldogs left a man on base with 1 hit. A leadoff single from Zitzman. Greenwood still struggling to get runners to home plate. They have now left 9 base runners. It's 4-1 Greenbrier as we drift on to the bottom of the 6th inning. And Keith, it's going to be the 9-hole for Greenbrier, who has a double already today and scored a run. So 9, 1, and 2 in their batting order. And the Bulldogs will have 2, 3, 4 coming up in the 7th, and they're going to need at least 3 runs.
Yeah, and it's just, it's kind of too little too late. Like the barrels were great, but early in the game, those were choppers, those were easy outs. We weren't making them really hard barreled outs. And, and it goes back to walks and errors. And, I thought Moore pitched great, but then again, he himself had 2 errors
right.
that, you can't have if you're in a game where you're do or die.
Well, here's Aaron Taylor, the lefty, coming in to pitch. This kid's a freshman?
Freshman.
Yeah. So Brewer throwing some youth into the fire here and saying, let's see what you boys are made of. And Taylor, a left-handed hurler for the Bulldogs. I think that's the only change we've seen defensively. Looks like everything else is the same out there.
Well, and you've got to create, football creates competition every day in practice to get on the field to go win a championship ring. That's what those guys want. It's a little bit different in baseball. You've got your anomalies at Greenwood where you have 1 or 2 that go play football, but it's the focus is not the next level as much as it is about winning, being the best team in the state every year. Baseball's a little bit different, and when you got 9 good baseball players that are all competing to go to the next level, you can compete. But if you've got guys that are just playing ball to play high school ball, you get kind of like what you have in the West Conference. I mean, the West Side Conference, 5A West is completely different from the 5 East.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Sure, 100%. Well, here's Taylor. Let's see what he's got against this Miles Miller. Fastball's upstairs. Miller's 1 for 2 today. Double, scored a run, fly it out to center field. Taylor up on top, kicks and fires. There's a fastball that's check swing fouled over the first base dugout. I like this Taylor guy, Keith. I think he's going to have a big future for us.
As long as he doesn't start thinking about his mechanics when things don't do good, and that's just probably the maturity side.
Mm-hmm.
We see him come in high with a little fastball, but you'll see him. He's worked so hard on his craft that sometimes he'll focus on one piece of his mechanic instead of just saying, hey, I'm just going to get up there and throw today. Just throw strikes. You heard, let's see this pitch. It's high again. You heard Brady Tigert said, when they asked him, why all of a sudden did you start looking like a different pitcher? He said, I just got tired of trying to throw strikes, and I just went out and threw. Just pitch it.
And there's a ball in the air. It's in play. Petty's off first. Can he find it? Nice little basket catch over there in foul ground. Out number 1.
Yeah, I never saw it. It was a good job by Petty to get back there and catch it.
It was.
But back to Taylor, you can project him. A couple years ago, you see him pitch, and you think, man, that kid is going to be a dude on the mound.
Yep.
And the only thing that's going to stop Aaron Taylor is Aaron Taylor. Like, if he wants to be the dude, he'll be it. And if he just wants to be okay, that's what he'll be. He'll be whatever he wants, no doubt.
Here's Andy James, first pitch swinging, and Bircher drawing a bead right off the bat. He'll wander a couple steps to his left glove side and out number 2. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you throw strikes. You know, my man Eric Sandifer always says really the most effective pitch in baseball is the strike.
Strike.
Here's Ty Ruby now. The last chance for Greenbrier here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 4-1 over Greenwood. And upstairs for Taylor, ball 1. Ruby's reached on an error twice, scored a run, lined out to shortstop. Left-handed bat. A lefty-lefty matchup. Here's a shot to Petty. Gobbled him up. Just right through the 6 hole. And another error. That's the 3rd time he's reached on an error. And we've got a pinch runner. I swear that was number 11, Landon Connell, but he's been courtesy running for the pitcher. So I thought the guys were attached to a guy, but not.
Not if you're courtesy runner.
Okay. So Taylor will regroup. Another error on the Bulldogs. That's the 5th by my count. And Taylor works from the stretch to Paxton Flagg. He's their catcher. Walked, hit by a pitch, and scored a run. His courtesy runner did, and he flied out to right. And Taylor comes home with it. It's upstairs. There's a little bit of fuzz on him. You can hear the glove popping back there from Hope.
He's missing. His arm's not catching up. He's going real slow back and then having to rush, and he's missing everything high, and he just got to get that ball down.
1-0 now to Flagg. And Taylor kicks and fires. Like that, that's in there for a called strike. 1-1. Taylor up on top. Peers into Holt. He's got the sign. Pettigrew holds the runner at first. And Taylor takes a minute. Taking forever. Now comes home with it. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. Taylor's ahead 1-2 now on their catcher, Paxton Flagg. There's 2 outs here in the 6th. Greenwood down 3 runs. 2, 3, and 4 batters due up for Greenwood in the 7th. It's now or never here in game 1. And Flagg waits on the 1-2 from Aaron Taylor. There goes the runner. This ball's hitting the air. Mitchell on his horse. No problem for the Greenwood center fielder. And Austin Mitchell runs it down, and the Bulldogs get around the error. Greenbrier leaves a man on base. Well, it comes down to this here in game 1. Bulldogs need 3 runs to keep the game going here. It'll be Skaggs, Carnes, and Pettigrew. Kind of right where you want it in the batting order. 4-1, Greenbrier leads after 6 innings. It's game 1 of this 5A West doubleheader. We'll take a quick break on the Sports Hog 103.5. $30. Thank you. Lefty. Well, there's a change on the field for Greenbrier. Ty Ruby, a left-hander, has come in to pitch for the Panthers. He and Carson Zachary trade spots, essentially. Zachary's over at first base now, and I think that's the only change defensively for the Panthers. Left-handed hurler, and Skaggs, Carnes, and Pettigrew. Skaggs was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Was cut down at second in the middle of Carnes' 5-4-3 double play, and then he's grounded out to 3rd, and he's flied out to left. So Braden's due here, 0 for 3.
Well,
right.
you got your seniors, 2 of the 3 guys that are upperclassmen. And,
yeah.
You know, this is who you're playing for every year. You want the seniors to win its championship, and you want to go out strong. And so to have these guys, they can help affect how they go out right here.
Well, if you can get 4 runs here, hang on. Still got a chance at a conference title here.
We'll
really?
take 3. Just 3 right
Yep,
now.
true.
Just tie it up. Just get 3 across.
Let's see what Ty Ruby's got. The lefty's first one's low, ball 1. Watch him warm up. Any keys? Did you see anything from him or at all?
He's a high school pitcher. He's going to throw strikes. It's velocity's mid-velocity, probably, somewhere around 76, 77, may hit 79.
1-1 on a strike at the letters to Skaggs. And he checked swing. Nope, they're going to call it a strike anyway. That was an off-speed delivery.
12-6 breaking ball.
Yeah. 1-2 now to Skaggs. He's ready. Ruby kicks and fires the lefty upstairs. 2-2 now. Here comes the 2-2. In the turf, full count now. Let's see if Skaggs, the leadoff walk would sure be nice. Carnes on deck. Just gave me a little wink and a smile. I like the sound of that. And Skaggs just got a piece of it. Good rip and a ball right in there, hanging in there. Come on, Braden. One time, baby. Full count, no outs. Here, top of the 7th. Dogs need 3 runs to keep this game going. And he walked him. Whew, it was a close one, but he got the call. And here's Grant Carnes now. Doubled last time up. Carnes, wind blowing in from left, really straight across. So a home run would have to be ripped to left field. Off speed's way upstairs from Ruby, ball 1. Don't know what the pitch count was for Carson Zachary, but this is one of those time when Dad's over there thinking, why'd you pull my kid? Another ball, 2-0.
He was at 102.
Yeah, well. 2 balls to Carnes. Probably taken all the way. This is what I like to see, you square up a fastball and smoke it if it's in there. It's upstairs, 3-0. Yeah, lead off walk. Now Carnes looking to get another free pass and bring Pettigrew up, who represents the tying run. If Carnes can get on, here we go. Ty Ruby in relief here in the top of the 7th for Greenbrier. Here it is. Upstairs, he walked him on 4 pitches, and the Bulldogs bring the tying run to the plate. Hit Brady Pettigrew. And guess what? This guy's got home run power. Has the only 2 dingers for Greenwood this season. In a meeting at the mound as Flag goes out to talk to his pitcher. And the ex-pitcher, Zachary, over from first base. They discuss. Throw strikes, let your defense work for you, brother.
Yeah, it's just a season in the balance. I probably wouldn't mention that while I'm out there, but both these teams right now, they need wins to move on.
Yep. Greenbrier can win the conference with a sweep, and then Russellville could stumble. So they still have a lot to play for. All right, Ruby's ready up on top. Pettigrew saying, give me 1 pitch to groove, chump. 1 pitch. Here he is. First and second for Greenwood. And it's in there for a called strike. And I don't blame him. Take to a strike. He hadn't thrown one in a while. Nobody out. Tying run at the plate for Greenwood. Top of the 7th. High drama here. Bulldogs somehow need to keep this game going. Ruby, the left-handed relief pitcher, checks the runner, comes home. Off speed. Got him. Pettigrew swings and misses. 0-2 now. Brady going to have to reset. Cole's out on deck for Greenwood. He'll certainly get an opportunity. Couple of walks here to start the 7th from this new pitcher, but he's got Pettigrew in an 0-2 hole. Fastball way upstairs. Good eye from Pettigrew.
He just overthrew that. He knew he needed a good fastball, and when he's been overthrown, he hadn't been near the zone. He's going to have to let up, and hopefully Pettigrew will recognize it, put a good barrel on it.
Here's the 1-2 now. Not holding the runners. Those guys mean nothing out there. And Ruby on top comes home with it. And Pettigrew fists one. It's a little flare to the third baseman. No problem over there for Brooks. There's 1 down.
Didn't quite find the barrel on that.
Nope.
Bring up Cole.
Jackson has had a couple of hits. He was hit by a pitch, or 1 hit by a pitch, flied out to right. He's been pretty good at the plate. He's the tying run. One out here in the top of the 7th. Cole in the back of the box. The lefty Ty Ruby up on top for Greenbrier. He's in relief here in the 7th. He was at first base. Checks the runner at second, comes home. Cole golfs that one foul over to the Panthers dugout right side. Strike one. Doubleheader. We'll have, probably a 20-minute break. Don't have to get the field ready here on this artificial surface, so look for about a 20-minute break between games, and we'll go back to the network. Check in on the Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and his crew. That's upstairs to Cole. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 5A West postseason really on the line here for Greenwood. Tying run at the plate. Top of the 7th. Panthers lead 4-1. Been an error-riddled game for the Bulldogs. An off-speed ball that Cole fouls out right over the top. 1-2. We're set up out here among the natives, just behind the fencing of the Greenwood on deck circle. 1-2 now to Jackson Cole, Greenwood's second baseman. Ruby's up on top from the stretch for Greenbrier. He'll come set. Peek out to second and come home with it. Off-speed, Cole lifts it. Is it shallow enough? It's floating. The center fielder in on it. Makes the catch for out number 2. And it's up to Austin Mitchell. Well, he's the senior spot he wants to be in. Mitchell singled twice and struck out. Just get something in the fake grass out there, Mitchie. Let's see what you got, baby. Keep the game alive. Ruby up on top. He comes set, peeks out to second, and comes home to Mitchie. That one's in the turf for ball 1.
You just want to extend it, get to the next guy. You have the we before me. Just get to the next guy, do your job, extend it. One more at batter each time.
Runners at first and second. Couple of walks here to start the inning. Skaggs and Carnes. And now 2 outs. Mitchell golfs this one towards Zitzman. Nice play over here in the on-deck circle for Zach Zitzman. 1-1. Two outs. Top of the 7th. Mitchell, the last chance for the Bulldogs, unless he can keep the game alive here. Austin digs in. Here it comes. In there for a called strike. The Bulldogs are down to their final strike. One ball, 2 strikes to the Greenwood center fielder. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He got him. And Mitchell goes down swinging, and the Panthers are going to win game 1 4-1 here. The Bulldogs now on life support for the postseason. Errors got us here in game 1, Keith. A couple of base running gaffes. The Bulldogs had plenty of opportunity with guys on the base paths. They left 2 there. There was no hits and no runs. Left 2 on base. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 runners stranded out there today for Greenwood. Whoa. A lot of them, too, Keith, were early in the innings. You had the first 2 get on in the second. You had a leadoff guy. You had the first 3 get on in the 4th. We did get 1 run out of that, but you had bases loaded, no outs. And here you had the first 2 get on. Had 2 of the first 3 get on in the 5th. Just could not get an inning going.
Again, and kids are still kids. They they press and they know the situation. You have to win, and and that's why. And again, I press. Me and you talk about this every year. The more baseball players you have that go in and then you just do it. You don't have to think. And when you got guys that maybe this isn't their sport, or it's just kind of this is all they're going to do in high school, they want it to be special, and because it's going to end sooner than some people, and then when you put that pressure on you, it's hard. It's hard as a kid, and it's coach is going to get this right, and the kids, they work hard. It's you can look at the kids that aren't getting hits, aren't doing it. They're great kids. They work hard. They show up when coach asks them to show up. They do the work. It's just we missed that big hit, and then the defensive errors. Those things can't happen in big games. Right. We've seen it every year. You can have them early in the season, and I know they can affect you, but nothing affects you worse when you have to win and you have these errors.
Well, now it's a pretty much a win or go home here for the Bulldogs. We've entered certainly the playoff attitude now. A sweep here will be certainly detrimental. You will need a lot of help to get in the postseason. You need Alma really to sweep Mountain Home is what it comes down to if you lose this game. And they'll play tomorrow, possibly Thursday, depending on the field conditions up in the spinach farm there in Alma. Well, we will take a break here between games as senior night festivities go on. So I'll tell you what, it's going to be about 25 minutes. I've got 6:17 right now, 27:37. I will be back with you about 6:45, and we will get ready for game number 2 of this doubleheader. Greenbrier wins game 1 here 4-1 as the Bulldogs fall to 8-5 in conference and 17-9 overall. The 10th conference win against 3 losses for Greenbrier, 18-7 overall. Quickly, I want to thank our Grand Slam sponsors, JH Automation Solutions, Craig Gigrich, State Farm Insurance, Duck's Body Shop, Freedom Roofing, MSG Waste, Shirley's Tech Services, Taylor Family Vision, Top Notch Roofing, Virtue Energy Services, and Webb Energy Resources. And our Dugout Club sponsors, Anchored Hope, Ben Sanitized, Boondocks, Farmers Bank, Greenwood Express Lube, Liberty Roofing, Oak Bauer Pest, West Arc Plumbing, and Ronnie Terry Roofing. If you watch the live stream, I want to thank the boys at Crosswalk Media, Sean Holland, Joey B., and Mr. Buffett out here doing the Lord's work, bringing you the pictures. A fantastic weapon that we have in our live stream. We certainly thank those guys for all the help they do for Greenwood Athletics. And I want to thank the Baseball Booster Club for getting us on the air over on the radio side. My man Michael Ferris made me sound so good, Keith and I, up at Greenwood Road. Well, we'll be back in about 25 minutes and bring you game 2 of this 5A West doubleheader. Greenwood loses 4-1 to Greenbrier here in game 1. You heard it right here on your home for local sports in the Western Arkansas corridor. Fox Sports Radio, the Sports Hog, 103.5.